I want to walk you through a business model that I think is probably one of the best ones to start if you want to run an online business. And it's called arbitrage, and more specifically, lead arbitrage. So let me just kind of make myself comfortable and sit at my desk here. Another beautiful day here in Dubai, as per usual. But so this business model has allowed me basically to quit my job, travel the world, move out to Dubai. Sorry, I'm very dark here, but I'm sure we can all look past that. Move to Dubai, live in Dubai, and live a life that, to be perfectly honest, when I was working my 9 to 5, I never thought was even remotely possible. And it's all down to something called arbitrage. Now, arbitrage is traditionally been something that is only available to financial markets. So arbitrage is when a stockbroker will buy a stock and sell a stock pretty much at the exact same time, and buy it for slightly less than they sell it for, or vice versa, and make a small, tiny percentage profit on the trade. And they do that with enough stocks and spend enough money, then they can make significant amounts of money. And that's kind of what arbitrage is and was, and obviously still is. But there's like a new wave, and in kind of like 2010-ish, this new business model started to appear, called service arbitrage. Now, service arbitrage, think like Uber, think Airbnb, think DoorDash. These companies that they don't actually do the thing that they're selling. Airbnb don't host you. They don't put you up in their house, but they facilitate that transaction. Uber don't drive you around. Somebody else drives you around, but Uber facilitate that transaction. DoorDash don't cook your dinners, but they facilitate the transaction. And that's service arbitrage. And it really became big in around like 2010, roughly, is when all these companies started popping up, because they understood how they could take this kind of old model of arbitrage that was specifically kind of exclusively only for financial markets, and they figured out how they could take advantage of it. And it's made them a lot of money, as you know the size of Uber, you know the size of Airbnb, and all these big companies. But the problem is that arbitrage and service arbitrage has such a high barrier to entry. Like, think of the software that is required to create Airbnb, and then you've got to get customers that want to like go traveling and use Airbnb. You've got to get hosts that want to. It's just a lot of work, basically, and it's very difficult for the average person to create Airbnb. You've got to get backing, you've got to get investors, you've got to have hundreds of millions of dollars behind you to do it. And so it's been kind of out of reach and not in the equation for people like you and I. But I thought to myself, how can I try and take advantage of arbitrage in my own way? And that's when I stumbled across lead arbitrage. And as I say, it's done me very well. And I want to share with you exactly what it is, how it works, so that you can do the same. Because my goal in this video is to give you the step-by-step process of how to take advantage of arbitrage, and specifically lead arbitrage, because service arbitrage is out of reach. Financial arbitrage is probably out of reach for 99.9% of people as well. But lead arbitrage most definitely isn't. It wasn't out of reach for me. It requires very low capital. It's very easy to do. It's very attractive. It just is a great business model, in my opinion. And so let me explain to you what lead arbitrage is, and then how you can start earning money with lead arbitrage. So It's very simple. 99.9% of businesses want and need more leads. Now, the fact that they want them and they need them is a very powerful combination. I don't want to say those two words flippantly and then lose credibility. They are very important. They want them and they need them. Two very powerful things in business. So they want and need leads. And most business owners, they go into business because they are good at the thing that they are doing. If you go in and you become a plumber, it is because you are good at plumbing or you know how to be a plumber. But most business owners don't know how to do the marketing to grow their business, which is arguably the most important part. If they don't have any customers, then they don't have a business. So they're good at what they do, but they generally don't have the skills to grow their business. They don't have the time to grow their business. They don't necessarily even have the desire to grow their business. And they just want somebody to tick that box for them, take it off their plate and do it all for them. And so you've got this big want and need from businesses, which is like, there's a sayings like, if you want to sell food, sell it to a starving crowd. Don't sell it to people that are their stomachs are already full. Sell it to a starving crowd. So we have this starving crowd, basically. And then we also have a huge number of people that know how to generate leads. But they, for one reason or another, don't have all the customers that they want. They might have some clients, they might be generating leads for themselves, they might be generating leads for other businesses, they might be doing it freelance. There's lots and lots of people that know how to generate leads. And what lead arbitrage is basically going to the business owner and saying, do you want more leads? They say, yes, please. You say, okay, cool. Do you want them on a pay per lead basis? They say, yes, that sounds way better than paying you a flat monthly fee like a marketing agency and just hoping that it works. So yes, I would like more leads. I would like them on a pay per lead basis. You say, great. You then go, hey, Mr. Person that can generate leads, that already has the skills, can you generate leads for me for this person here? And every time that you generate a lead, I will pay you money. They say, yes, I don't have enough work on. Or, yes, please, I can get them lots of leads. And you say, okay, great. So then you go to the business owner and you say, how about, and this is just a completely arbitrage. This is just a completely random number. It could be anything. It could be way more. It could be way less. Don't read into this. I will give you will pay me $200 every time I get you a lead. Does that sound good? Yes, that sounds good. Okay. I will pay you $100 every time you generate a lead. Does that sound good? That sounds good. Okay, great. Go find him leads. Cool. They go find him leads. You manage the relationship between them both. And then every time a lead is generated, you charge Mr. Business Owner over here $200. You pay Mr. Lead Generator over here $100, and you get to keep $100. So just like Airbnb get paid for facilitating the transaction, so do you. And here's why it works so well. Obviously there's a want, there's a need, there's a desire. There's so many people that have the skills to generate these results for clients. They just don't have the clients. Here's why it works so well. Let's say, for example, you're brand new to this online space. You've tried making money online before, maybe with drop shipping, maybe with trading, maybe with crypto, and it hasn't worked out. And so you start something new. You start a new business and you go to a business owner and say, do you want my services? And you're just charging them a monthly amount. You're more of a risk to that business owner than you are an opportunity. So most businesses are going to say no. And that's why so many marketing agencies and things like that fail, is because they don't start out as they should. What we're doing is we're saying, work with us. It's completely risk-free. You only pay when we deliver you results. So if you work with us, there's infinite upside, and there's zero downside. So why wouldn't you work with us? And they say, yeah, fair enough. The only reason you wouldn't work with us is if you've got too many leads, basically, and you don't know what to do with them. You're, oversubscribed. And that is a thing for about 0.1% of businesses. But for the vast, vast majority, they want and need more leads. So zero downside. So even if you don't think I'm going to be any good at what I do, even if you think that I'm going to be rubbish and nothing's going to work, why wouldn't you work with me? Because there's infinite upside and zero downside. Cool. So that's one thing, is it's so easy to sign clients. So if you're new to the online space and you don't have previous results, you don't have case studies, you don't have testimonials, you're not great at sales to be able to coerce somebody into giving you $3,000 up front to hopefully be able to generate them some results. There's none of that going on. So there's no hard sale. It's just a win-win, mutually beneficial relationship that you are starting. And the same happens with the person that that's generating the leads for you. And another reason that I love this business model is that it's very, very scalable. You get a client, you get somebody to generate the leads. You get another client, you get the same person to generate leads. You get another client, you get the same person to generate leads. And this one person can probably generate leads for like 10 different clients. And then you get an 11th client, you get somebody else to generate you leads. You get an 11th client, you get somebody else to generate you leads. And when you get this second person that's generating leads, you can say, here, have a crack at generating leads for these other 10 clients that I've already got as well. And you just earn money, and it just builds on itself, and it's recurring revenue. So picture a drop shipping, for example. At the start of every month, your sales are zero. You've got to get a new customer every time. There might be the odd bit of repeat customer, but not really. You've got to go out, you've got to find more customers. And you start at ground zero on the first of every month. And if you have a bad month and you don't make many sales, then you don't make much money. With lead arbitrage, what happens is you've got clients. They stick around infinitely. The reason they stick around infinitely is because there's no need for them to go. It's only upside, remember. It's a win-win. It's a genuine win-win situation. So when at the start of each month, you know that although you're getting paid per lead or per sales call, whatever it is that you're generating for them, although you're getting paid per lead, there's a very high likelihood that you're going to generate leads for these clients. And what I say to my students is that if you're not generating a minimum of $1,000 per client that you work with in profit, then you're probably either doing something wrong or you're working with the wrong type of client, because some clients are much easier to get results for than others, and you just need to make sure that you're working with the right type of clients. Now, on that note, I want to be completely transparent and open and honest with you. There are a couple of downsides to this business model. There is no business model in the world that is 100% perfect. Doesn't exist. And I want to share with you the downsides. And that is one of the downsides. It is that not every business is easy to get leads for. Some are much easier than others, and some are much more difficult than others. The way that we generate leads is through cold email. Now, the reason we use cold email is because it is very cost effective. It is very low cost. So instead of you saying to Mr. Business Owner, hey, I'm going to run some paid ads for you, I need a $5,000 ad budget. How does that sound? Have you got any case studies? No, not yet. Okay, have you got any testimonials? No, not yet. Okay, I'll probably skip. But if it's cold emails, like, it's virtually free. So that's, we use cold emails. So not every business is good for cold emails. Sometimes cold emails don't work for every single business. So that's one issue. And it's not an issue, it's just something you need to be aware of to make sure that you don't work with the wrong type of clients. Now, the other issue is that, let's say you find a a lead generator, somebody that can find you these leads on behalf of your clients. What if they're no good? What if they say that they're good, but they're actually not? And that does happen from time to time. So it's important that you work with somebody that is genuinely good, that actually knows what they're doing, knows what they're talking about. Now, you might be thinking, well, if they're so good, why don't they just do it themselves? And it's a very valid question. But it's like saying, well, if he's so good at cooking food, why doesn't he open his own restaurant? If he's such a good driver, why doesn't he open up his own taxi company? Not everybody that is good at what they do wants to run their own business. Not everybody, if you're watching this far, is entrepreneurial like we are. Not everybody wants that. Some people just want, a constant flow. Not everybody can speak to other human beings and can generate conversations and turn prospects into clients. There's multiple skills that are involved in working with a client. It's not just, sending emails. So it's important that you work with the right type of people. Now, what we do with our students, not only do we tell them who to work with and who to avoid, but we also partner them with experts, people that we have already trained, people that we have certified, have gone through our program, and they are kind of certified experts to be able to generate leads on your behalf. So when you work with us and you sign your first client, we can then introduce you to our pool of people that we have already trained so that they can deliver the work on your behalf on a pay per lead basis. This means that you haven't got to hire them and have this fixed overhead when you're just starting out in business, because that's just not something anybody wants. So that's pretty much the lead arbitrage business model in a nutshell. It's, in my opinion, the most effective business model out there, especially for beginners. If you want to earn money online, have time, location, financial freedom, I believe that lead arbitrage is the best business model. If you want to find out more about how it all works, first link in the description, click that. It's going to take you to a video, and that video is going to walk you through exactly how you can sign your first 10 clients guaranteed through lead arbitrage. Take a look. I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.